Welcome to Echelon Magazine, hosted by yours truly, Jiggy Tee, coming through to kick your game for free, aka the streets journalist, grabbing mics to serve. Echelon Magazine, aiming to serve you with nothing but great scoops on what's popping in and around the world of entertainment. If you haven't done so, please do like, subscribe, follow, and share the magazine. It will take you literally less than 5 seconds, so please do like, subscribe, follow, and share the magazine. Alright, I guess let me not take your time, my Ashelian, and let's get to it. So we'll start off our session by taking a look at Global Citizen, a festival that takes place annually. So we were lucky enough, here in South Africa to have the event taking place on the 2nd of December 2018. I'm sure you all do remember that, my Ashelians. After all, we had the likes of Beyonce, Queen B herself. Jay-Z was also here. Shoma Josie got to do her thing. Casper Nyovest also got to do his thing. And that's when he was having the transition, from hip-hop to I guess Amapiano, where he's at now, when he was doing his house thing, testing the waters, but now we can say he's fully in, and it took place in Joburg, the FNB Stadium, Soccer City, as some of us know it. And how can you forget the iconic moment where Naomi Campbell, while doing her, speech, was said rather Amandla instead of Amandla. You all remember that Naomi Campbell moment. Ari Amandla instead of Amandla. Nonetheless, man, we won't, bash you for that, from here. Anyway, I bring this up because it took place yet again, this year on the 25th of September. Some of the biggest names in pop appeared there, and of course, before we get into those pop stars, shout outs to Bonang Mateba and of course Nomza Mombata, who were announced as, appearances, at New York City for the Global Citizen Live, which took place on the Great Lawn in Central Park. So yes, Queen B was in South Africa, Bonang was there, and Nomza Mombata. Gone girls are these, if you don't believe me. So they got to appear there at this year's Global Citizen Live, which took place on the 25th of September. And there was a twist to this year's festival. Concerts were staged not only in New York, they were staged in Paris too, Lagos, Nigeria, Rio, Sydney, Mumbai, and were broadcasted online, since it is the pandemic, COVID-19, and people can't travel, and we can't, have these huge spaces filled with people. So they took place live this year, and some of the biggest names in pop, from your likes of Billie Eilish, got to perform there. If you are a fan, BTS got to perform, Elton John got to perform. I'm not quite a fan, nonetheless, to each his own. And of course, Coldplay was headlining at this year's Global Citizen Live Fest at New York Central Park. Just drop it on the comment section, my Ashelians. Would you all want to go to New York, even for events such as Global Citizen? Personally was there last year on 2018, pardon me, last year 2018, and it was an amazing event. Pandemonium is the word I was looking for. There was so much chaos there, and after that the thuggery, where we had like the thieves, people like stealing phones, people being robbed and stuff. That was hectic, after Global Citizen. I don't know, we should have had it virtually, but it was before Corona anyway. Who knew, So if you are a fan, drop it under the comment section. Would you like to, go to New York, Central Park in particular. Is that one of your dreams? The American dream? Under the comment section at Echelon Magazine. Of course, Burna Boy got to perform there. Shout out to Burna Boy. Yo, who knew that Burna Boy would be an icon, that he is right now, an African giant, I first heard of Burna Boy on AKA Dales and JR's All Eyes on Me. If y'all are familiar with that song, if you are a hip hop head. But now look at where Burna Boy is. Wow. Shout out to him, man. And of course, one interesting event that took place in Global Citizen, Doja Cat. So after doing a performance, Doja Cat went on stage to give out her speech. For people who might not know, Doja Cat, her name is Zandile Dlamini. Did y'all know that? Zandile Dlamini. So she went on stage and while doing her speech said some of her fans may know that she is half South African, specifically from Durban, South Africa. So shout out to everyone from Durban. And she went on to say, that cliche that I hate. The continent of Africa is experiencing a devastating hunger crisis. It's heartbreaking to know that COVID-19 pandemic, blah, blah, blah. I mean, these Americans, though. I say interesting because, yes, as we would wish or want to claim her, as South African, yes, her name is Zandile Dlamini. And shout out to the OG, man. His name is slipping me, Dlamini. But he was on Yizo, Chester on Yizo. Who's the OG's name? He plays Chester on Yizo. I'm sure my Ashley and you are familiar. Is it? Oh, I hope the name pops up, but yeah, he's the OG. He's from Durban. He's Zulu. So Doja Cat is half Zulu ultimately, and yeah, my Shalian, if you are familiar with Yizo Chester on Yizo, that's her dad, and yo, what's up with these, American folks, trying to use the status of being African while they haven't even came to Africa, do this, I mean, they claim us when it's useful for them, but they don't come and help at home. Why doesn't Doja Cat come, and open up a young, music school or something here in South Africa? But she's claiming South Africa, and Elon Musk is going to space, Buffett. So Elon Musk is going to space here, and Diamond like he went to University of Pretoria, he did his high school here, but he's going to space now, and he's a United States citizen. He doesn't even claim us type of vibe, What's up with this, American folk? Nonetheless, I digress. Moving on to our second story. Melaine and Zwai, the OG's daughter, will be featuring on Disney Magic's Bake Off. Yes, Melanie and Zwai Bala. If y'all aren't familiar with Zwai, he's the former, because he passed on, legend, and Kwaito connoisseurs. He was part of the founding members of TKZ, so him, Zwai Bala, and Melanie Bala's daughter will be featured on Disney's Bake Off. Magic Bake Off is what they call it, pardon me. And if you are an Ashelian, you are probably familiar with us breaking the news of Disney Plus partnering up with South Africa, or rather the African division will be opening up in South Africa. Yeah, however we mentioned that, so the Kwaito legend's daughter Peyton is the new voice behind Disney's Magic Bake Off, and providing that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I guess she will kill it, represent us to the fullest. And to everyone out there, let's take this opportunity to use this to our advantage. America is looking at us, one of the giants is looking at us. We don't know if they want to use us, as they did, and let me not just get into that because of the shadow bans, on these platforms. Nonetheless, the world is looking at South Africa. So if you are a creative, yo man, harness your craft, do your thing, take it to the top. And so shout out to Peyton, man, for getting this great opportunity, being the voice of Disney's Magic Bake Off. Represent us well, girl. Do it to the fullest. I mean, AKA and DJ Sinclair's daughter, also Cairo, got to work with Disney on Frozen. So they looking, Buffett. And let's move right along. So new cast, or rather a new film that will be taking place. So on the 24th of September, a film aired, pardon me, George, trying to connect. It's called The Last Stories of Culture. It took place at 7 p.m. and of course the film was directed by Lebogang Rasethaba. And just mentioning this to shout out to the OG. It featured South African musician Gogo Matonsini, and I'm sure some of y'all are fans, and of course a language preserver by Ma Katrina. So shout out to everyone in this space, and shout out to the opportunities by Castleite's Milk Stout. So they were part of the sponsors for this new film. It's called The Lost Stories of Culture. So if you are a fan of the culture, if you want to know more about the South African culture, I guess this will give you quite an idea if you are a person who's not from South Africa. So it's called The Lost Stories of Culture, a film directed by Lebogang Rasethaba, and had a musical performance from Gogo Matonsini, and a language preserver by Mark Catherine. Shout out to everyone in the creative space too. Y'all are killing it. I mean, let's use our talent, to spread this message, because we are the voice, after all, of the streets. Hence why I call myself the streets journalist. Nonetheless, moving right along, shout out to Minnie Dlamini Jones. Hey, let me not forget that, because she is a married woman now and a mother. So Minnie Dlamini Jones, she scored herself an acting gig, so she's back on the TV screens, not only presenting but acting too, so she was happy to announce that she's finally back to acting, and of course she was having her makeup and hair test, while doing that. Females, ladies, I want y'all to tell me, how much does a hair test and like makeup for such a big event, or say it's modeling, charge at Echelon Magazine? Drop it on the comment sections. Of course, Minnie Dlamini, and of course the film is titled Goodbye Gogo. I'm sure y'all are a fan. I'm sure y'all already watched that. It's called Goodbye Gogo and was released on Showmax. And shout out to Showmax, man, for these telenovelas, reality shows, they content ultimately. Shout out to Showmax. If you are part of the crew who works at Showmax, I'd love, an opportunity. That what you must. Here's me being on my Messi, shooting that shot. So shout out to Minnie Dlamini. She's back on our TV screens, not only presenting but acting. It's called Goodbye Gogo. If you are a fan of Minnie Dlamini, the queen, do make sure to catch her on Goodbye Gogo. Then still on, actors and actresses, another actor has decided to ditch Skim Sam, So if y'all are Skim Sam fanatics or fans of the, inspiring telenovela drama Skim Sami, Cornet Mabaso recently left the drama, the telenovela, and yet again Mpho Mashabela is venturing into politics and teaching Skimsami. Everyone who's leaving these, acting opportunities as Skimsami is doing quite out of the box ventures, out of the acting career. So Cornet, who is popularly known as T-Boss on Skimsami, left Skimsami to open up his financial and funeral policy company, and this time around, Paul Mashabela is leaving Skimsami to venture into politics, and of course the multi-talented artist say that he is running as an independent candidate, so he told a publication that he was inspired by the former DA leader Musi Maimani. So he, I quote, says he's contesting Ward 12 in Mahaulering. So he was nominated by friends who felt that he could represent that ward, so shout out to him, man. I guess I might not understand politics, I might not understand what that means for you or for that community or that ward. Shout out to you for continuing to pursue your dreams, I guess, and if you are a creative, I guess it only goes to show that don't be boxed in that craft. Don't be a slave of that craft. You can do more, you are more. So if you are a creative person, or whatever you do, not only a creative, even if you're holding down a 9 to 5, if you have a corporate job, don't box yourself in. You can do more, you are more. Anyway, talking about not boxing ourselves in, Moshe Ndikis. Let's congratulate Moshe Ndikis, popular personality and actor who is actually building his culinary empire. So if you are an Ashalian, we once broke news of Moshe Ndikis opening up his spice company. It was called the Moshe Kitchen, the spice range, and of course, look where he's at now. So he's building his culinary empire, and he says he's set to build his culinary empire one food truck at a time. So the comedian and media personality has entered into the food industry, by introducing his spice range as mentioned, but the dream has gotten bigger. He's now started his mobile food truck business, so it will be a franchise, so from place to place, and this time around it's not just the spice, but he will be serving you food, and you will be, having that spice to go with, so he recently announced that he and his team, because of course there's no I in teamwork makes any dream work, has launched Moshe's Kitchen mobile food truck. It will be a franchise, and it launched this past weekend, on the 24th, the 25th, so if you are a fan of Moshe, you probably might have seen this, so shout out to every person who's chasing their dream, who's expanding their knowledge, who's bossing up, cause to all of us black folk, we've been handed the wrong end of the stick for so long. Keep on keeping on, and I guess we can end off our session here. So please do like, subscribe, follow, share the magazine, and comment on the comment section down below. If you had any problem throughout the broadcast, let me know. If you need anything we should work on, please let me know. I believe we can only grow through critics, and I'm humble enough to say this. I'm not perfect, and of course, if you've just listened up until this point, my actually, I'm talking to 2 of y'all, 3 of y'all out there. Thank you very much. Thank you for taking time out of your data out of your Wi-Fi to connect with the boys. I appreciate you highly. Eat your cereal using a fork and study in the dark.